Welcome friends to Musicline Online, hope you're doing okay. This one's mainly for the grown-ups or young adults among you. It's part tutorial, part opinion, but hopefully helpful to you. Just briefly, I'm making this coming out of the COVID-19 lockdown in June 2020. We're on Fuerteventura in the Canary Islands, thank God, one of the lowest risk areas in the entire world. Even so, life here is far from normal right now. There is no sign of an immediate return of school productions that families can go and see in person. My hope is that as time goes on and solutions are figured out, this brief reference to the 2020 pandemic is entirely irrelevant. Even so, it has got us thinking about the future of school showbiz in many positive ways. Drawing from experience as a performing arts specialist in schools, the joy in staging shows with young people has come mostly from the journey, not the end performance. In fact, post-show blues is one of the worst aspects of the job. Everyone nails that final night, there's that brilliant buzz of satisfaction for a while, then comes the inevitable "what now" spell, where everybody feels a little bit flat. The antidote to that? Let's watch the video. Great idea, only the video of the show is understandably one of the lowest priorities of the production. As a result, school production videos generally spark some nostalgia but rarely do everyone's hard work any justice. If only Brian's dad hadn't coughed over that crucial line, if only Gemma's baby sister hadn't shrieked through the entire finale, the list of moment killers goes on. A whole career of tainted musical movie memories makes me muse what if the video of the show was one of the highest priorities in the production. Someone working in a school might have just sprayed a mouthful of coffee across the room in horror of the thought. Maybe a bright spark is watching this and saying, "Let's go one better and do a live stream of the show." If you've ever put together a live stream, especially one involving a performance, you might agree that it's pretty stressful. Believe me, I've been doing it most Sundays for a while after naively volunteering for my local church. Wait until the technology is a little more user-friendly. So let's explore the filming option close up, something I've managed relatively successfully in years past when it usually was one of the lowest priorities. The cheapest option is to have your cast record their lines at home and send them in to you. In some cases, this might be the only option. It's not real life, but it's something and can actually be quite fun. Bear in mind that your cast will still need directing in order to deliver the lines correctly, so an online rehearsal via a Zoom meeting or similar is advised prior to making the recordings. You could just record the meeting. Zoom is a platform that can do this, but the results are normally a bit ho-hum and prone to internet dropouts. Let's take it up a notch and look at filming your cast together in real life. For this exercise, I'm putting on my adventurous but sensible hat, suggesting kit that most schools could afford or cobble together from their existing inventory or generous parents. That said, I won't be cheaping out on stuff that doesn't work. Remember, these are only recommendations, there's no affiliation here, links are in the description. 3 cameras, standard HD camcorders, nothing fancy but something with an optical zoom, not a GoPro or similar fixed angle action camera, preferably not a phone either. 3 fluid head tripods. Again, nothing snazzy, but don't bother with anything less than a fluid head tripod unless you're setting your story in an earthquake. 3 video soft lights. These are dirt cheap and really handy for all kinds of things, not just for making videos. 1 sound recorder. 1 clapperboard. You can do without this, but trust me, it's a small expense and your kids will love it. 1 computer with editing software. Macs come with iMovie, Windows 10 comes with Video Editor. Both of these are fine for what you need. In addition, there are possibly people within your ranks who enjoy editing videos and have more powerful tools. Ask around your parents and school community. Even better, learn the basics of editing with your pupils. I'll link you to some great courses on this in the description. Let's decide whether you are going to be doing this with or without an audience, or a bit of both. Personally, I would suggest without an audience, at least to start. Not having to worry about a live audience means that your cast are less nervous, you're less stressed, and you can put your cameras anywhere, even moving them about during the shoot. Of course, if you can have a live audience and want the atmosphere they provide, that's great, but it will be a bit harder to manage. In TV land, shows with a live studio audience are often partially filmed without punters during the difficult scenes. When they are present, the studio audience is usually G'd up and looked after by a floor manager, a bit like a conductor for an orchestra. I've done a bit of this when filming my productions, speaking to the audience before the show, warming them up, letting them know that the show is being filmed and encouraging them to make the right noises in the right places. It's amazing how much people will ham it up if they know they might be on the DVD. If there is an odd mistake, a suitably informed and warmed up audience will happily watch the same bit again while you get it right. Just keep the atmosphere fun and relaxed throughout, explain what's going on, and the audience will be on your side, especially if it's their kids they're watching. Remember, if it still doesn't go right, you can always move on and reshoot that section without the audience later. You need to assemble a film crew. You may be lucky enough to have several grown-ups in your school community who can take on various roles, LSAs, parents, etc. However, you could build your film crew from those pupils that aren't that crazy about being on stage. Hold that thought. In my frontline days, my typical film crew of 3 normally comprised a first camera operator, a second camera operator who also started the sound recorder, a third camera operator who also supervised a 4th fixed camera at the back if it was available. What I describe next can be made to work with or without audiences. It assumes that you're filming the show from start to finish and that everything is suitably rehearsed for a relatively polished performance. It also allows for occasional mistakes to be corrected as you go. Okay, looking at the gear, let's start with camera positions. You can certainly manage with less than 3 manned cameras, but assuming you have the resources, place one on either side of the auditorium, filming opposite sides of the stage on a wide to medium angle, along with a third camera in the middle for close-ups. You want your most confident camera operator behind the close-up cam in the middle. Ideally, all your operators should familiarise themselves with the show and plan the shoot as a team so all lines are covered. Again, in TV land, shows with a multi-camera setup will have a specially annotated camera script and maybe even a dedicated camera rehearsal. This might be taking it a bit far for a school production, particularly if you're relying on pressed for time grown-ups. However, think of the teaching fodder if you take on your pupils for the film crew. Make sure all the cameras are set to automatic, most normally are by default. Talking formats, 1080 HD is fine, along with frame rates between 24 and 60 frames per second. Decent sound works wonders. This can often be achieved simply by placing a sound recorder in the middle of the stage at the front. If you're on a bigger budget with a PA and an engineer, consider recording a feed straight out of the main mixer. Your sound person can help you with that. Make your cast aware that they still need to project their voices even though you are using microphones. Without getting into a long discussion about lighting, generally it needs to be brighter than you might have for a traditional production. This is where your soft lighting boxes come in handy, especially for close-ups. They can fix all manner of problems. Yes, there is such a thing as soft lighting. I used to think it was nonsense until recently, but these cheap devices have transformed the look of my videos, and I wish I had discovered them much earlier. This might seem pedantic, but a list of pre-flight checks is a really good idea to ensure you get everything reliably in the can. From painful experience, I give you a summarised version that you can build on. Make sure there is ample storage available in your devices. Make sure there is enough power in all your devices to last the entire shoot. Preferably run everything from the mains. Regularly make sure that the settings are correct on all devices. If you are using DSLR or mirrorless cameras, frequently check that they haven't stopped recording. A lot of favourite vlogger cameras automatically shut off after 30 minutes, which is why camcorders are often a better option for this kind of filming. They're also usually cheaper. Always correctly power down all the devices before removing any storage media. SD cards are flakier than stroppy teenagers if you don't handle them gently. I don't know what it is about these things, but everyone wants a go, myself included. Using one of these, or indeed just clapping, will greatly help your editor. It gives that person a marker on every device which can be used to align the recordings and sync them up. When it's time to start recording, your editor will love you, provided you take these following steps in order. Start all your devices recording, stand in the middle of the stage, perform a single loud clap that all the devices will pick up. Or leave all the devices recording for the duration of the session. This is a big one. Do not stop recording on any device unless you are taking a break or have finished the show. If you do stop recording, insert another clap marker at the start of the next section. We don't have time to cover editing here, but there are lots of helpful tutorials out there that already do a brilliant job of that. In the description you'll find links to all the popular software that we can think of, along with instruction videos. Making a movie is an ambitious undertaking, but certainly no more ambitious than all the logistics that come with organising an event with a real-life audience. In my view, movie making is a wonderful team-building exercise. It draws on so many other core curriculum subjects, it's immense fun, and the best bit, the end result is captured in its full glory forever. How you distribute that full glory is another exciting choice to make. DVD might sound a bit old hat and low res, but it's a nice physical souvenir. Blu-ray? It's unlikely that Nan and Grandad have got a PlayStation or even know what Blu-ray is, bless them. These days, online distribution is probably favourite, and best through a service like YouTube, where you can manage who can watch your video and monitor its popularity. You can even schedule a premiere and watch it online together. There are other platforms like Wix, where you can ask for a donation or charge a fixed price to watch the movie, helping you to perhaps recoup some of the costs. However it exists, a movie of your school production is a record of what many pupils regard as one of the most memorable events of their youth. I hope this little chat has inspired you to make it a good one. Let me know how you get on, or if you have any questions. Everybody's situation will be slightly unique, so come forward with your queries and I'll do my best to answer them. Until then, happy filmmaking, stay safe, and adios.